test 1, which is a pump down, heat, and deposition. So step 1 would be your pump down. Step 2 you can see is the heat. We have it set to 100 degrees. Got a watchdog timer in there, planetary speed, process pressure it's going to pump to. And then set point, yes, and then a time. And then if we go to step 3, you can see that's a deposition layer. It's going to tell it what sweep pattern to run, and you can pick for each soak and deposit. And then no heat, you got once again a watchdog timer in there. So once you have that, you select your process, it'll put it up there, and then you can see there's a sweep pattern. And if we come up here, go to your processes, and you can see process 1 is 0.5K. Okay, so now we'll go home and we will hit the start button. See, the planet's going to start spinning. See, the heat comes on. You can see we're already at 88. You see the lamps are fully on. And we look up here, we can see the liftoff dome rotating. So once again, the heat's on, and then here's a set point venting. So if you want the chamber at a certain temperature before you hit the vent button, then you can set that. So that way, if you're running like 300 degrees C or whatever, it'll cool it down before it vents. Now you can see here, we're rotating at 5, and we are at our set point. See, the heaters are dimming down. And your time's expired, so heat shuts off. And we're going to come down here. You see the source turned on. My voltage is going to turn on. And you can see the start process. So you can see right now it's pocket 1, source 1, it's aluminum. And you can see this is going to take whole process is going to take about 5.5 minutes to run. So you can see up here, it also tells you on the main screen that the deposition process is 1, you're in the soak rise, what your sweep pattern is, and up here it's going to tell you, your watchdog timer and the actual time it's going. And this is just if it's trying to reach any certain set points, like for pump down, or if you're doing a heat for 5 minutes, or if you want your pump down pressure to stay for 5 minutes before it starts. All that shows up in this screen here. So you can see we're going to run it up here. And all the parameters for your power, your angstroms per second, and your thickness, and all that is set inside of this controller here. So now you can see we go there. And you can see right here it says so cold. So it's going to get a hold, and then if we look in there, you can see the beam is in the pocket. We pretty much just have a small little beam in the pocket. We're not doing any big patterns because of aluminum, but once again, the sweep patterns can all be changed inside of this guy. So we just have a small little oscillation, but you can pick numerous different sweep patterns or create your own. So now you can see, so I believe we have that set to a minute inside of the controller that is going to hold this soak. Now you see it's going to pre-dep rise. It says the same thing up here, pre-dep rise. So now we're going to go up. I think we have that set to like 30%. So once again, you look back in here, you see the pocket. We're starting to get a really good melt on. You see the shutter kind of over it. You can also see on the screen here, it also displays your emission current and your voltage, which can also be displayed down here. on the actual power supply controller. So now, once again, we're in the so cold. After it does about a 30-second so cold, you can see the shutter open up. I'm just going to try to, there goes the shutter. And if you look under here, you can see it rotating with that uniformity shield in its place. And you can see it's going to come up. See, it's telling you 5. Up here, it's also telling you deposition process 1. And you can see we're about 3 milliamps. So you're going to hit that 5, and then it's just going to hold it. And then you can see your thickness monitor here measuring up. Once again, the screen displayed the shutter open, what pocket you're in, how fast you're spinning, the actual timer of it. Go over here and see that, so all the stuff is displayed on the screen. On this screen, if you hit the I button here, you can see how your thickness is going. You can see how your rate is, rate deviation, and your different outputs, powers, frequency, and all that. And all that's a PID, which can be set in here, so you can try to tweak it in even better. We didn't really play with it because it's aluminum, and I know you guys are doing other materials, so. So once we get to that 0.5, the shutter will shut. See the power drops down, and then we have a ramp to idle in here, so you can see the material still kind of glowing. So that ramp to idle is going to get that glow basically gone before you rotate, so you don't damage anything on the inside. We have that going in about a minute. The shutter's shut, so you get no more deposition on your wafers. Once again, here it displays the ramp to idle. And you can see you're still rotating and everything. And then once this ramp is idle done here in this another 14 seconds. Process complete. Going to shut it down, and then you're going to get this display saying process ended. And it's going to start a timer, and that timer basically is just going to let you know how long it's done. So once it's done, you can come over here, and you can either leave it pumped down if you're home for the night, or you can go into vent mode, and then when you vent, it'll automatically vent everything up.